The Miss America pageant is making some big changes. For the first time since it was founded nearly a century ago, contestants will not have to appear on stage wearing a swimsuit. The organization says that it will no longer judge the women on their appearance. Instead, they will be evaluated on their inner beauty, intelligence, and talents. The contestants will take part in a live interactive session with the judges. They will have to show off their passion and overall understanding of the job of Miss America instead of their bikini bodies. Joining me now from Edmonton is Ashley Callingbull-Burnham. She was the first Canadian and Indigenous woman to win Mrs. Universe in 2015. And Lauren Howe joins us from Toronto. Lauren is the current reigning Miss Universe Canada 2017. Welcome to both of you.
Happy to be here.
All right. First of all, Lauren, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on not having a swimsuit competition or an evening gown portion in beauty pageants?
Yeah, so it's funny. When you were reading that description of what the new criteria will be based on, my first and immediate reaction is that's actually what we are currently judged on. And that's why a large number of girls enter pageants in the first place versus something necessarily that's as straightforward as modeling. For the Miss Universe organization, at least, our judging criteria was 60% based on our interview one-on-one with judges. And at the end of the day, the bikini portion, technically, this wasn't necessarily about your physical appearance and your body, because at the end of the day, there's so many different definitions of beauty, but it was about your confidence in a swimsuit, and it's essentially meant to be something focused on health and fitness, and you embodying that lifestyle and promoting it. So.
All right. So you don't think it's important whether it's there or not? Can I assume that's what you mean?
I don't necessarily say that I don't think it's important whether it's there or not. I think at the end of the day, it's a great move, and I applaud the Miss Universe organization for doing this, because that at least allows women a choice. Because if a woman chooses to go and compete in an organization in a bikini, that's her choice. And at the end of the day, if she's uncomfortable with that, that's also her choice. And I think at the end of the day, that's what empowerment is about.
Right. Okay. Well, all right. So let's take it there. Ashley, what do you think? What do you think of this move?
I agree with Lauren. I mean, I've competed in pageants also, and swimsuit portion has been a part of the competition. And for me, it was about confidence and about showing everyone how physically fit I was and how well prepared I was. And I felt really confident about that. But there's also a negative to it, because we are judged on our bodies, and there is more to a woman than her body. And a lot of women don't agree with being judged on just our body types, and a lot of women don't feel like they should be living up to someone else's beauty standard. So it can be a positive and a negative, but it's really up to the woman if she wants to participate in a pageant that has a swimsuit or Miss America that doesn't have swimsuit.
Yeah, Miss America, Gretchen Carlson, who was a Miss America winner, former Fox News host, became embroiled in the whole Me Too movement and she credits the Me Too movement for this move. She says, "We are no longer a pageant, we are a competition. We will no longer judge our candidates on their outward physical appearance." So removing the outward physical appearance, what impact will that have, do you think, Lauren?
I think, once again, it's kind of similar to what I had mentioned previously, but I think that impact, honestly, is just, it's strong, and it's a message being put out there for a lot of young women to say, look, if you want to do this, if you want to be Miss America, we are going to entirely eliminate a portion that might make you feel uncomfortable walking on a stage in a swimsuit. But as I said, and speaking to Ashley's point just quickly, I grew up an athlete. And to me, I never saw the swimsuit portion as something that was necessarily going to be judged on my body. I saw it as an opportunity that allowed me to work towards a goal and feel at my best self, no matter what shape that is. And I've seen women go through the exact same process from so many different definitions, for lack of better terms, of bodies.
Yeah. What's it like to walk out in front of people, all those people, in a bikini?
Ashley, sorry, did I hear you chiming in on that?
Oh, I just kind of laughed. I mean, when I compete in a swimsuit, I know that I'm competing at the best version of myself. I'm completely prepared, so I feel really confident. And as soon as I get off the stage, I want to do it again because it was so much fun. But then sometimes, you may doubt yourself if there's someone that is in better shape than you, but really in pageants, you should only be focusing on what you're doing best for yourself, because you're presenting the best version of yourself and you want to be a good role model and a good ambassador for the organization. So really, ultimately, you just focus on yourself. If you're happy, then do it.
Yeah. Do you think an overweight woman could be a winner?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Have you ever seen it?
I've had friends, yeah, that have competed in pageants that are plus size, and they're equally as beautiful. They are standing there for something more significant than, it's bigger than themselves. They go there for a bigger purpose. So they are equally as beautiful, and they are proud of it.
Yeah. Do you think Canada will go the same way? Miss Universe, or the Miss Universe and Mrs. Universe pageants will go the same way? Do you think there will be pressure on them to do that?
Well, they are different organizations. So the Miss America organization is owned by Miss World. That I can't speak for that organization to know if they'll also move in that direction. And the same goes for Miss Universe and any other pageant that exists in Canada. You know, they're entirely different entities, and I'm not sure what direction they will go. But I think we've seen a lot of change already happening towards the better in inclusivity all around. A few years ago, I think it was Miss Universe Canada that actually was the first organization in the world to allow transgendered women to compete. And that was the first step in the right direction. And now hearing about the elimination of swimsuits at Miss America, like everything is slowly changing and moving towards essentially a greater good that is truly about empowering all women.
How do pageants empower women, Ashley?
For me, I use it as a platform. I use my voice to speak for others whose voices aren't being heard. I use the pageant system as a way to raise funds and the awareness for all the charities that I work for, and I also use it as a voice to be that voice for Indigenous peoples in Canada. I'm sure you may have known I spoke out against the government while we were dealing with a lot of issues. So for me, it's something bigger than yourself. And I feel like when you go there, you're being a role model not for young women, but a role model for all the people in the country that you're representing.
Yeah, give me. Was that difficult for you to speak out against the government while you were a reigning, member of Miss Universe, Mrs. Universe?
No, it wasn't, because I was very proud to speak up about our issues that we're currently dealing with still. And I'm very proud to always be a voice for Indigenous peoples. And it was all about being fearless and being confident and standing up for what's right.
Okay, and Lauren, what has been the advantage for you this year? What are some of the issues that you've taken on? What has being a winner in a pageant meant for your life?
So for me, it's funny. There's often the stereotype of pageants that overhangs on a lot of the girls who compete. And for me, I entered for scholarship reasons originally, and my intention with Miss Universe Canada was to help promote a platform of women in STEM. I'm an industrial engineering graduate from the University of Toronto, and I want women to know that they can be two different things, and one doesn't have to define the other. And we really, I think that stereotype says a lot versus in everyday society, we don't necessarily criticize beauty as much as we do in pageants. If we see a photo of a celebrity and say in a swimsuit, we say, you know what, good for her, like, oh, she looks fantastic. But in pageants, a lot of these girls have voices, and a lot of them have things to say and platforms to speak about. Ashley has always been a role model of mine, and that she's a wonderful example of someone who has done incredible change within a country through pageants.
Yeah. So do you feel that as well, Ashley? Do you think there is a stereotype on women who have taken part in pageants?
There's always a stereotype. There's always going to be a stereotype, because I feel that those who have not competed or participated in any way, they'll never understand what it's actually like for us and what we really feel and why we're really there. A lot of people think it's just a bunch of beautiful women going to win a sash and a title, and that's it. But there's more to us than meets the eye, and I'm like very thankful that I was able to have that opportunity to express my voice through pageantry. And same for Lauren. She's a wonderful example of a strong woman through the pageant system.
What do you think is the biggest characteristic that you have to be a successful pageant winner?
I think you have to be very strong-minded, and I think you have to be very vocal and very passionate. Passion shows through everything. because your interviews are a huge part of what helps you get crowned as the winner. Your voice is what wins people over. It's your personality. You can be the most beautiful woman there and lack a personality and not be the ideal person you want representing your country. I think it's your personality and how compassionate you are for others.
Lauren, what do you think?
I couldn't agree more. And there's a saying at Miss Universe, and this might come off a little cheesy, but it's being confidently beautiful. And I think that's something that's also really difficult for young women to discover. We all have our own journeys, and when you're young, you're finding your footing. You're finding what that passion is. And pageants allow that place to say, okay, you're going to stand on a stage and answer a 30-second question. You'll have to say it confidently. You have to know what you love to, you have to know how to, really commit to what it is that you want other people to know and use your voice for the best intention. And that's not something that's easily found as you're navigating, so cheesy, as you're navigating life as a young woman.
Right. Well, it's interesting, because I think a lot of women find themselves in, especially in this day and age, or the youth are beautiful, but a lot of people will still have the stereotype in their mind that it's fun for a woman to be beautiful and to be pretty and all those sorts of things, but she doesn't want to be only judged on that particular fact.
And if pageants have taught me anything right off the bat when I'm young is, beauty, physical beauty is simply the product of a talented team of people in hair and makeup. I mean,
true.
that's all physical beauty is, and the rest of it is up to you to define.
All right. Ashley Callingbull-Burnham, Mrs. Universe 2015, and Lauren Howe, Miss Universe Canada 2017. Thank you for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much
thank you
for having us.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.